Welcome to Stoic Spirit, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. If you've ever felt hurt, dismissed, or disrespected, you're not alone. In a world that demands instant reactions, Stoicism offers a powerful solution: silence. Choosing silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It shields you from chaos and reconnects you with your core values. What you're about to hear isn't just theory, it's practical wisdom drawn from Stoicism and real-life experiences. Each segment carries lessons to help you handle disrespect and reclaim inner peace. So focus, reflect, and don't miss this journey. It could transform how you respond to life's challenges. If you resonate with anything we discuss, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stick around until the end for a valuable takeaway that could shift your perspective forever. We've explored why silence is one of the most powerful tools when faced with disrespect, from regaining control to setting boundaries. Silence isn't avoidance, it's strength and self-awareness. You don't need to react to everything. Your value lies in staying calm amidst chaos. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Your insights inspire future content. Share this video with loved ones, as they too can benefit from the power of Stoicism. Lastly, if you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications for more inspiring videos to guide you on mastering your mind and life. Thank you for being here today. Now, let's dive in together. Number 1. A reaction is all they want. When faced with disrespect, we often feel an almost instinctive urge to react immediately. Feelings of hurt, anger, or the need to defend ourselves surge within, compelling us to retaliate with words or actions. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, will your reaction bring about anything meaningful, or is it merely playing into the hands of the person trying to provoke you? In Stoicism, this is the moment to reclaim control. Not over the situation, but over yourself. Instead of responding, silence becomes a powerful choice, a choice that lifts you above the chaos and negativity others try to impose. Those who act disrespectfully are often seeking a reaction. Their words rarely hold true value. Instead, they are bait designed to pull you into their whirlwind of negativity. By choosing silence, you refuse to engage in their game, forcing them to confront their own behavior. Silence in this instance is not a concession but a declaration. You do not have control over my emotions. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. True power lies within your ability to govern your thoughts and emotions. Imagine a real-world scenario. A colleague criticizes you openly in a meeting. Their words are sharp, filled with malice, aiming to humiliate you. Your natural response might be to fire back or justify yourself. But instead, you remain silent, your gaze steady on the speaker, your lips unmoving. The room gradually grows quieter as your calm demeanor starkly contrasts the colleague's lack of control and bitterness. In that silence, you have shifted the spotlight onto them, not for attention, but so they can confront their own behavior. Without saying a word, you have already won. Epictetus famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The essence of this lesson is that it's not the actions of others that define us, but our responses. By maintaining silence, you not only preserve your inner peace, but also turn that silence into a mirror. The person who disrespected you is forced to look into that mirror to see their pettiness and turmoil reflected back at them. And that reflection is often far more discomforting than any argument or retaliation could ever be. In the absence of justification or someone to blame, they are left alone with their own missteps. Choosing silence is not easy, especially when our instincts demand that we defend ourselves. Yet, each time you choose silence over reaction, you affirm that your worth is not tied to others' respect. Silence is the smarter play, a way of showing them that their disrespect holds no power over you. Ask yourself, do I really need to defend myself against words that lack value? Is it worth my energy to argue with someone unworthy of it? Silence, remember, is not weakness. It is the ultimate expression of strength and wisdom. By refusing to react to disrespect, you declare, "I am the master of my emotions. No one else can control me." In that silence, you not only rise above the situation, but also teach the offender a profound lesson, that their disrespect harms only themselves, not you. and through your calmness, you triumph in your own way. The next time you encounter disrespect, what will you do? Will you respond the way they want you to, or will you choose the intelligent and powerful route of silence? The choice is yours, but always remember, your peace is your most valuable asset. Protect it. Let's take this further. Silence isn't just about withholding words, it's about creating space for clarity. When you resist the urge to react, you give yourself time to process the situation rationally. This pause allows you to assess whether the issue truly deserves your energy, or if it's better to let it go. Stoicism teaches us that not every insult or provocation requires a response. Sometimes, the most impactful action is no action at all. Consider this: when someone disrespects you, their behavior often says more about them than it does about you. They may be projecting their insecurities, frustrations, or biases onto you. By staying silent, you deny them the satisfaction of seeing you rattled while also preserving your dignity. You're sending a message not just to them, but to yourself, that you are above petty conflicts. Silence becomes a shield, protecting your inner world from external chaos. Finally, silence isn't just a defensive tool. It's an opportunity for growth. In those quiet moments, you can reflect on your values, reaffirm your self-worth, and decide how best to move forward. It's in these pauses that you discover your true strength, not in reacting impulsively, but in responding thoughtfully. So the next time you face disrespect, embrace silence as your ally. Let it guide you toward greater resilience, wisdom, and peace. Number 2, not every battle is worth it. When confronted with insults or disrespect, what people often seek most is your reaction. A burst of anger, a retaliatory action, or even a fleeting look of hurt. These reactions are exactly what they're hoping for, as it gives them a sense of control over you. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, does engaging in this conflict truly add value to your life, or is it merely a waste of your precious time and energy? Stoicism teaches us that sometimes the way to truly win is not through strong retaliation, but by knowing when to remain silent. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to recognize what battles are worth fighting. Let's explore a real-life scenario to bring this lesson to life. Picture this. You're standing in a long line at a busy coffee shop on a bustling morning. The air is thick with impatience, and just as your turn approaches, someone behind you suddenly cuts in front, their eyes daring you to react. Anger flares up within you. You feel the urge to say something, perhaps a sharp, "Excuse me, but this is my spot." It's natural to feel this way. After all, their actions feel like a direct affront to your fairness and patience. But instead of reacting impulsively, you take a deep breath and remind yourself, their behavior reflects on them, not on you. This small shift in perspective changes everything. As they place their order, you remain calm, refusing to let their rudeness dictate your state of mind. The cashier, noticing the interruption, politely turns to you and asks, "Who's next?" With a soft smile, you step forward, place your order, and carry on. Your composure speaks volumes, not just to those around you, but to yourself. While the person who cut in might now be stewing in discomfort over their own rudeness, your calmness delivers a powerful message. You are not easily provoked or drawn into the chaos of others. In that moment, your silence becomes a shield, protecting your peace while subtly disarming the situation. Silence in these moments is not weakness, it is strength. Strength that preserves your dignity even when others lose theirs. By choosing not to engage, you demonstrate self-control and emotional resilience. And in the end, you leave the cafe with more than just your coffee. You leave with your peace intact. This is the true victory. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By refusing to stoop to their level, you rise above the negativity and reaffirm your values. Consider this. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you affirm that your worth is not tied to others' opinions or behaviors. Their disrespect cannot diminish you unless you allow it to. Silence becomes your way of saying, "I am above this. I will not let petty conflicts steal my peace." This mindset not only protects your inner tranquility, but also sets a standard for how you navigate life's challenges. Not every insult requires a response. and not every slight deserves your energy. By discerning which battles are worth your time, you conserve your strength for what truly matters. Finally, remember that silence is not about ignoring injustice or tolerating disrespect in every situation. There are moments when speaking up is necessary to uphold your values or defend your dignity. However, when you do speak, let it be with calmness and reason, not out of anger or impulse. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom lies in knowing the difference between when to stay silent and when to act. This balance is key to living a life of purpose, peace, and resilience. So the next time you face a provocation, ask yourself, is this battle worth my energy? If the answer is no, let your silence be your strength. Number 3, know the difference between reacting and responding. When you choose not to engage in a meaningless battle, it does not mean you are indifferent or weak. Rather, it signifies that you are conserving your energy and focus for what truly matters. Life is full of provocations, words or actions designed to unsettle us, but not every slight deserves our attention. By discerning when to react and when to pause, you reclaim control over your emotional landscape. Even when you skillfully avoid unnecessary confrontations, there will still be moments that demand a response. In such situations, the question is not merely whether you will act, but how you will act. The distinction between reacting and responding may seem subtle, but its impact is profound. A reaction often arises instinctively, impulsive, unfiltered, and driven by raw emotion. It's the knee-jerk reply fired off in the heat of the moment, fueled by frustration, hurt, or anger. But ask yourself, does this reaction truly yield the outcomes we desire, or does it merely add fuel to the fire, escalating an already tense situation? A response, on the other hand, is a thoughtful, intentional action. It requires us to pause, reflect, and choose a course of conduct aligned with our values and goals. This is where reason steps in, reminding us that not every provocation warrants a proportional reaction. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom lies in knowing the difference between what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and what we cannot. By choosing to respond rather than react, we demonstrate maturity, self-awareness, and emotional resilience. Let me illustrate this with a real-life example. Imagine a loved one lashing out at you in a moment of anger. Their words are sharp, their tone accusatory, and your instinct might be to retaliate with equal intensity. After all, defending yourself feels natural, even justified. But here's the thing. Responding with your own anger only intensifies the conflict, creating a cycle of negativity that harms both parties. Instead, imagine choosing to walk away, not out of fear or surrender, but out of strength. You take a step back, breathe deeply, and allow silence to settle between you. This silence isn't about abandoning the relationship. It's about preserving mutual respect and allowing space for the other person to recognize their mistake. In that quiet moment, something powerful happens. Your calmness becomes a mirror, reflecting their behavior back at them. Without your reaction to amplify their anger, they're left alone with their emotions, forced to confront the root cause of their outburst. Meanwhile, you've protected your peace and demonstrated grace under pressure. Silence, in this context, is not passive, it's active. It's a deliberate choice to rise above the chaos and handle the situation with dignity. Remember, silence is not blind tolerance. It is a chance to reflect and respond more wisely. There's a crucial balance here. While silence can diffuse tension, there are times when speaking up is necessary to uphold your values or defend your dignity. If someone crosses a fundamental boundary, remaining silent could be misinterpreted as acceptance. In those cases, speak, but do so with calmness and clarity. Let your words be measured, purposeful, and rooted in reason. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Responding thoughtfully ensures that you don't stoop to their level while still addressing the issue constructively. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you affirm your self-control and inner strength. You send a clear message to yourself and others that you are not easily swayed by external forces. Over time, this practice transforms how you navigate conflicts, relationships, and challenges. You learn to approach life's difficulties not as threats to your ego, but as opportunities to grow wiser, calmer, and more resilient. So the next time you face a provocation, pause and ask yourself, Is my response aligned with who I want to be? Will it bring me closer to peace or push me further into turmoil? Number 4, don't let others control you. When you understand the difference between reacting and responding, you begin to realize that immediate action isn't always the wisest choice. Life is full of provocations, words or actions designed to unsettle us, but not every slight deserves our attention. By discerning when to react and when to pause, you reclaim control over your emotional landscape. Reactions often stem from impulsive emotions, while responses are the result of reflection and reason. It's in that brief moment of pause where you hold the power to decide, will you let others control your emotions, or will you maintain your inner freedom? Stoicism teaches us that true strength doesn't lie in defeating others, but in conquering ourselves. Refusing to let anyone or anything disrupt our inner balance is the ultimate act of self-mastery. Harsh words and provocative actions are often designed for one purpose only, to provoke a reaction from you. In those moments, it's easy to lose your composure, to lash out in anger, or to engage in confrontation. But does that truly make you feel stronger? Or does it merely turn you into a puppet pulled by the strings of your emotions? Stoicism reminds us that real strength lies in self-control, not allowing others to govern your state of mind. Silence, when used wisely, becomes the ultimate expression of that control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True strength lies in self-control, not allowing others to govern your state of mind. Imagine a scenario. You're in a meeting and a colleague openly criticizes you unfairly. If you react with anger, you might feel a fleeting sense of satisfaction. But what remains afterward? A never-ending argument, heightened tension, and possibly regret for losing your temper. Now imagine staying silent, holding your composure. What happens then? Your silence forces them to face their own words, unshielded by your reaction. Most importantly, you retain control over yourself and the situation. The world around you may be full of injustices and disrespectful remarks, but how you choose to respond is what defines you. Someone who chooses silence doesn't do so because they cannot speak, but because they understand that not every battle is worth fighting. This silence is a refusal to let external forces invade your inner peace, a determination to preserve the tranquility you've worked so hard to cultivate. Think of a bus driver who encounters rude, impatient passengers every day. If he argues with each one, he'd quickly exhaust himself and lose focus on driving safely. Instead, he chooses to smile, remain silent, and continue doing his job. This doesn't just protect his mood, it also gradually makes those difficult passengers recognize the strength in his calmness. Similarly, your silence becomes an invisible boundary, showing others that you're not easily swayed by negativity. Silence is not just a way to distance yourself from negativity. It also creates space for introspection. In that quietness, you can ask yourself, does this truly matter? Is my response aligned with my core values? These questions help you focus on what genuinely matters rather than being drawn into pointless disputes. And it is in this stillness that you find the key to rejuvenate your energy, regain balance, and grow. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and ask yourself, will reacting improve the situation, or will it just escalate the conflict? Often the answer is clear. Silence is the smarter choice. Remember, you don't need to prove your worth to those who fail to respect you. Marcus Aurelius captured this sentiment perfectly. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Instead of dwelling on criticism or misunderstanding, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. By staying silent, you demonstrate alignment with your values rather than allowing others' judgments to shake you. True freedom lies in refusing to let others manipulate your emotions or actions. Silence is the means by which you can achieve this freedom. Let it be your shield, protecting both your dignity and your mind. When you choose silence, you declare to the world, I am above this. I will not allow anyone to drag me down. Number 5. Silence changes everything. When you refuse to let others control your emotions and actions, you reclaim mastery over your mind, a power no one can take from you without your consent. This is not just about staying calm in the face of disrespect, it's about transforming how you interact with the world around you. Silence becomes more than a shield, it becomes a catalyst for change, both within yourself and in the dynamics of your relationships. But what happens when you face disrespect? In such moments, silence becomes more than just a way to maintain control. It transforms into a powerful tool to shift the dynamics. Silence is not avoidance. It is your choice to rise above, preserve your peace, and reaffirm your self-worth. By choosing silence, you send a message that their negativity holds no power over you. You are not a victim of their words. You are the master of your response. Imagine presenting an idea to your team, something you've spent considerable time and effort preparing. As you finish, a colleague scoffs and remarks, "This idea is so ordinary, it's nothing special." Your initial reaction might be hurt or anger, but instead of snapping back, you choose to remain silent. In that moment of quiet, you gain control over your emotions and the time to consider, is this critique worth engaging with, or is it just a fleeting reaction? Silence helps you avoid unnecessary conflict while prompting the other person to reflect on their actions. Often, when you don't react, they begin to question their own behavior. Was their comment truly constructive, or was it rooted in insecurity or jealousy? Your silence forces them to confront these questions, leaving them unsettled while you remain composed. When you finally speak, if you choose to speak, your composure and rationality will make you far more persuasive and admirable. Consider this. Silence doesn't just protect you. It elevates you. It shifts the focus from the chaos of the moment to the strength of your character. People notice when you don't rise to the bait. They see who has command over their emotions and who doesn't. And more importantly, by staying silent, you affirm your self-worth without needing external validation. You declare through your actions that you are not defined by someone else's opinion of you. Silence also gives you the clarity to discern between constructive criticism and baseless negativity. Not every critique deserves your energy. By pausing, you can ask yourself, does this feedback align with my goals and values? If yes, use it to grow. If no, let it go. Either way, silence allows you to respond, not react, with intention and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Silence is the ultimate expression of that power. Finally, remember that silence is not passive, it's active. It's a deliberate choice to step back from the noise and focus on what truly matters. When you embrace silence, you create space for growth, reflection, and resilience. The next time you face disrespect, remind yourself, silence is not surrender. It's a declaration of your inner strength and a testament to your ability to rise above the chaos. Let your silence speak louder than any words ever could. Number 6, set boundaries with silence. At its core, silence is far more than just a way to control your emotions. It is a profound, wordless declaration of your values and boundaries. When you choose to remain silent in the face of insult or disrespect, you're not merely protecting your inner peace, you're sending a powerful message. No one is allowed to cross the lines you've drawn. This is neither avoidance nor weakness. It is your way of shaping how others treat you. Silence becomes a shield, an invisible yet unshakable boundary that communicates your self-respect without uttering a single word. Imagine this. You're at a casual gathering with friends, and someone makes an insensitive or even offensive remark, likely trying to provoke a reaction or draw attention. Anger bubbles up within you, but instead of reacting impulsively, you choose silence. You offer a calm smile, refrain from responding, and shift your focus back to your conversation, as though the remark never existed. In that moment, your composure transforms the atmosphere. The offender begins to feel awkward, realizing their words hold no sway over you. Your silence becomes a powerful response, a mark of maturity and quiet confidence. This isn't about lowering yourself to engage in petty exchanges. It's about asserting a higher standard without uttering a word. You communicate through your actions, or rather your deliberate inaction, that you won't stoop to what isn't worth your attention. Silence is also a way of affirming your self-worth without the need for external validation. As Epictetus once said, if you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. By choosing not to respond, you refuse to let others define your value. Your silence becomes an act of defiance, an expression of self-respect, and a rejection of the need for external approval. When used wisely, silence is a formidable weapon. It is not surrender. It is a statement that you know what you deserve and that certain things are beneath your concern. Those who don't understand may perceive your silence as weakness, but over time, it becomes a voice louder than any explanation. Time, after all, unveils truth, and your silence will echo longer and stronger than any hasty response. The boundaries you set through silence aren't an expression of coldness or a refusal to engage. They are the reflection of a heart that knows how to protect itself from unnecessary harm. When you choose to remain silent, you deny anger and negativity the power to invade your peace. This is not passivity, it is wisdom. It is freedom from the chaos of external influences. Silence is your choice to preserve inner harmony, ensuring that meaningless words cannot touch your soul. Silence is not avoidance. It is your way of controlling the narrative of your life. When you remain silent, you refuse to let someone else's words or actions define who you are. Ask yourself, do you want to be remembered as someone easily swayed by others, or as a person of calm strength? Let your silence be a testament to your dignity, resilience, and inner power. The next time someone disrespects you, remember this: it is not retaliation, but silence that is your most potent weapon. Say it with conviction, because when you choose silence, you are not only protecting yourself, but also affirming your absolute control over your life. Silence is not surrender. It is a bold affirmation of your understanding of your worth, one that requires no approval from anyone. This is profound wisdom, the foundation upon which you can build unshakable boundaries and reclaim your peace. Number 7. Find yourself through silence. Silence is not merely a way to establish boundaries. It is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. When you refuse to react to insults or provocations, you are not just stepping away from chaos, you are creating space for reflection. In that quiet moment, you begin to see what truly matters. This is not just about protecting yourself, it's about discovering who you are at your core. Silence strips away the noise of external opinions, leaving only the essence of who you are. It allows you to pause and ask profound questions. What do I value most? What kind of person do I want to be? When someone disrespects you, their words often say more about them than they do about you. But in silence, you can discern whether their actions truly align with your values or if they're simply distractions from what truly matters. The ultimate lesson Stoicism teaches us is not only to remain silent in the face of others, but to embrace silence as a tool to understand ourselves better. In that stillness, you gain clarity about your strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations. You realize that your worth isn't determined by others' perceptions, but by how faithfully you live according to your principles. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner world back to you without distortion. Think of silence as a retreat, not an escape, but a sanctuary where you can recharge and realign. It's in these moments of quiet introspection that you discover resilience you didn't know you had. You learn to differentiate between fleeting emotions and enduring truths. For instance, when faced with harsh criticism, silence gives you the chance to evaluate its validity. Is there something constructive to learn, or is it merely an attempt to provoke you? Either way, silence empowers you to respond, not react, with wisdom and intention. Moreover, silence helps you cultivate gratitude and perspective. Instead of focusing on the negativity around you, it redirects your attention to the things that bring meaning to your life, your relationships, passions, and personal growth. By choosing silence, you affirm that you won't let trivial conflicts steal your joy or derail your purpose. As Seneca wisely said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Silence reminds you that much of what we fear or resent exists only in our minds. Finally, remember that self-discovery through silence is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. Each time you choose silence over reaction, you deepen your understanding of yourself and strengthen your emotional resilience. Over time, this practice transforms not only how you handle disrespect, but also how you navigate life's challenges. You become someone who leads with calmness, speaks with intention, and lives with authenticity. So the next time you find yourself in a situation that tempts you to react impulsively, pause and embrace the power of silence. In that quiet space, you'll find not just peace, but the truest version of yourself. True freedom lies in refusing to let others manipulate your emotions. When you choose silence, you declare, "I am the master of my emotions. No one else can control me." Protect your peace. It is your most valuable asset. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up to help spread these meaningful messages to more people. Sharing this video with someone who might benefit could make a real difference in their life. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on Stoicism and personal growth. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new content designed to inspire and guide you on your journey. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. How do you use silence to navigate life's challenges? Leave a comment below and let's start a conversation. Your thoughts might just inspire others watching this video right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means the world to us. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of thoughtful minds. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong, and remember, true strength comes from within.